We are talking about those of us that always put ourselves last on the list. We want to be better to do better. We deserve the glow up, the makeover, and the pampering in our lives too. Now, if you are ready to get 7, yes, 7 can't ignore motivators to change how you treat, or in this case, don't treat yourself, keep watching. Now, I have been where you are. You make sure everyone else is happy and satisfied before you even think about yourself, or putting food on your plate until everyone has taken as much as they want. You are eating the smallest piece of steak or dessert so everyone else can have more. You see going without as a badge of honor. Sound familiar? You don't want new clothes. Your instinct is to give the shirt off your back if someone needs it. In our mind, when someone needs you, you don't need to eat, sleep, or even breathe until you've done all you can. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. I'm Michelle, and I'm a life coach. On this channel, we're putting running on fumes and being exhausted in the past. We give you all the secrets you need to be successful, living from a place of abundance and caregiving from a place of prosperity. Let's get into our 7 motivators to groom yourself for success. We want to get looking and feeling fabulous while we are amazing family caregivers that raise great kids and support our aging parents, or our professional caregivers giving exceptional care to our patients and clients. Can you relate to this? Your alarm goes off and you pull yourself out of bed, wishing you can get 15 more minutes of sleep. Instead, you get ready for the day, you get the kids up and ready for school, and have a quick breakfast before heading out the door. Now, after dropping off the kids at school, you drive to work and you start your day. And at the end of a 9-hour workday, you obsess over a dozen things that went wrong. Most of these things were events that were out of your control, but they leave you feeling inadequate with no time to dwell on the stressors of the day. You put them out of your mind and you push forward. Next on your schedule, you navigate through highway traffic for 30 minutes, you pick up the kids and drive home. Then once you get home, you quickly put dinner on the table and you address whatever your family needs. Now, days like this, where you have no real break to process your emotions, that can compound stress for any caregiver. Now, years ago, that was a typical day for me. It was a badge of honor in my mind that as a parent, I could juggle it all. I could not name 3 things that instantly de-stressed me. I never thought about how to figure out what I needed. Because I cared for others all day, my role as a wife and mother and my work in direct care kept me mentally and physically engaged in caregiving. My time was not my own. I freely gave my time, 24 hours a day without any thought of myself. My energy was impacted by my surroundings. My emotions were heightened. Each day I worked with clients with mental health diagnosis, and most of my work was to help clients develop life skills. Life skills are a means to balance your needs with your surroundings. The concept of work-life balance wasn't something that I applied to myself. I focused on the needs of others because thinking about my own needs felt, frankly, selfish. When you are in charge of the care of others, often a persona is trying to be achieved. Implementing something for my needs just felt like more work, so I didn't do it. Periodically, I felt guilty for wanting time away from the demands of my life. Now, the flaw in this logic was that I put these demands on me. It wasn't my family or my clients. I essentially lost touch with myself. I had more control over my happiness than I realized. The cycle began with feeling frustrated and depressed every few months. Then I began to resent all that I felt I owed to my family and my work. This is that flawed thinking again. My self-care was non-existent. It needed a makeover. I would have been a great candidate for the Netflix makeover show called Queer Eye. Does anybody remember that show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy? It was on from 2003 to 2007. The show featured 5 gay men known as the Fab Five, who were experts in culture, fashion, food and wine, interior decor, and grooming. And on each episode, they featured an unsuspecting straight guy who was nominated by someone in their lives. Oh, things just get better. That's a line from the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy theme song. Now, the makeover for the straight guy began with a visit from the Fab Five, and the goal was to help prepare the man for an upcoming event in their life. We all want things to get better, right? We can get better by managing our time, energy, and emotions as caregivers. These are the 3 things that can change your mood and impact the care you give to others and ourselves. Do you want to get better? Well, here's how you can do it. 7 reasons for a caregiver makeover. There are 7 reasons why caregivers need self-care makeovers. Not everyone has access to 5 magical godfathers to oversee your makeover transformation. So let's get proactive and discuss why we need to make our own magic. Happy caregiver, happy family. The first reason why caregivers need self-care makeovers is when you are happy, those around you can be happy, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour. Taking time to recenter yourself benefits everyone. No one wants to hurt someone's feelings, but when you're stressed and frustration are present, caregivers could speak harshly to someone they engage with, like store clerk when they buy groceries or the barista at your favorite coffee shop. This would be unfortunate for a random encounter, but it could leave a lasting and negative impression on a child or a client. Happiness. In general, caregivers need to try and attain happiness. Our children are around us daily and they pick up on our habits and attitudes. When you show your family positive habits of self-care, like breaks during the day, slowing down when you're frustrated, and communicating issues before they get out of hand, our positive self-care habits as parents provide a positive role model for our children to imitate. Kids learn from what we say, but also from what we do. A phrase I heard more than once was, "Do as I say, not as I do." Parents, please don't cause confusion by saying this to your kids because it is not wisdom. Do for yourself first, then help others. Who knew wisdom can come from a flight attendant reviewing safety rules on an airplane? In the event of an emergency, place your mask on first before helping others. On every flight, passengers hear this instruction. Parents are not hardwired to place themselves first with anything. Sure, parents need to breathe, but we rationalize that it can wait until, then fill in the blank. Caregivers can help themselves by first prioritizing responsibilities. Sometimes saying no to something allows caregivers to recenter to a happy place or just to make their life manageable. Give yourself time to breathe. Teach others to do what you do. The proverb regarding teaching says, "Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he will eat for a lifetime." As our children get older, our expectations are that they will build critical thinking skills. A 1-year-old will benefit from a parent bathing them, washing their clothes, and dressing them, while a 10-year-old can launder their own clothing and select their daily wardrobe. Now, the 10-year-old will learn and continue hygiene practices taught by their parents. The same can be said for caregivers providing direct care. In direct care, when you teach patients about medications and life skills, you are not always serving as the fisherman, but eventually as the teacher of these routines and life skills for clients. Now, as caregivers, we must decide if we are going to fish for ourselves and others indefinitely or teach a new generation. Caregivers can help themselves by clarifying if we are doing things we need or things we want to do for others. Remove the guilt. When a schedule conflict occurs between a caregiver and someone they care for, it doesn't mean it's time to cancel that manicure or that round of golf you planned to say yes to last minute or a play date in the park. You either get creative about how both activities can happen or politely decline the last minute outing for your child and a friend at the park. It's okay. All the parental love and support you have presented does not make you bankrupt of love and attention to your kids. Sometimes children don't get everything they want. It's a lesson we all have to learn. Remove the tendency to place guilt on yourself for taking care of yourself, just saying no. Practice balancing. You were a kid once who enjoyed riding your bike, eating your favorite ice cream, and listening to music with your friends. Becoming an adult doesn't mean that you lose your ability to enjoy life and have fun. You just have to be more deliberate with balancing the dual roles you have as a parent and human being. We all have needs, and we all need to practice balance in our lives. Learn from the example of others. One of the best ways to learn is by doing the work. As a new mother in my 30s, I asked veteran mothers what they did to make parenting work. Several mothers encouraged me to have another baby. 2 years later, when my second son was born, I understood what they meant. My second son triggered new perspectives on the way I cared for my children. With 2 kids, a baby, and a toddler, I felt confident in taking family outings and having one diaper bag for both kids. I finally realized that I could not make it through a few hours away from home without needing to pack a small U-Haul filled with baby items. I was less panicked, and I did not try to bring every baby shower gift for the just-in-case situations. And I would encounter family outings with small kids means mingling with other parents. Parents stick together and often have supplies you may need or vice versa. Plus, instead of me or my husband being playmates, our children could explore new things together under our watchful eye. Kids learn a lot from their peers. Parents are not bound to be the teacher and playmates forever. So remember the straight guy from the Queer Eye? Well, the takeaway is to be kind to yourself. You're receiving this televised makeover instead of the person who nominated you. Enjoy being happy. Anyone would. Anyone would have a new attitude with a new haircut, a custom room in your home, learning to cook a new dish, and getting outside of your comfort zone with activities and updated clothing in your closet. It can make you happy. So enjoy it. The viewers watching the show enjoyed the seasons of the original show. Now Netflix has reboots of the original show in American and international markets. You must check out The Queer Eye in Japan. In season 1, there's an episode with a hospice nurse. Her name is Yoko. Now, warning, it is a tearjerker. It's okay to pause and take a breath. If the time you spent with the Fab Five helps bring out the best in you, then honor it. Breathe life and care into your space with self-care. The Fab Five taught you tips and tricks. Why not learn from that and continue to do it on your own? It was time well spent for them. So isn't it worth your time too? Make the time to balance your self-care and the needs of others. The Fab Five thought every straight guy they helped was worth the time and effort. Should we assume they don't practice what they preach? Now just skip the guilt. It has a way of stopping progress and you stop living. Guilt is intentional. It is self-judgment. Don't sentence yourself to a lack of self-care and a lack of pride in your life. Lastly, learn from the others who accept help. They can help you see a new perspective away from the guilt that keeps you stuck feeling that your only job is to be selfless. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment how your self-care makeover went.